Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Sagittarius for July 2021. So, Sag, we are in the time or the season of Cancer, so the element is water. So, emotional, feeling, going with the flow, acknowledging the emotional things in your life. Right, let's get into it. And the energy around is Ten of Swords. So difficult times have passed. When we have a 10, we know that something is over. It's been kind of tricky in the time of Gemini. It's been a very the planets have all been sort of conspiring against us in a way. It's been a bit of a bumpy, windy month or time in Gemini, so it's sort of here to tell you that that's over now. All that mind energy that was running around, that's now come to an end, and now we're into emotional water. So let's see. So family curse, all that sort of aggravation that the air element can cause is now at its end. Where you are right now is, Six of Swords, so definitely cruising to a nicer spot, calmer waters, just moving on through, from difficult into smooth, from rough to smooth, so balance, harmony, you know, just knowing that the passage is going to be a less choppy than it was in the last 4 weeks. Let's see what's influenced this to happen, and will indeed influence the reading for the next 4 weeks. 10 of Cups, emotional, so another 10. The end of an emotional time too, a very sort of facade really, I suppose. The 10 of Cups it's the facade. Things look one way, but in fact behind the scenes they are different. It's like the happy family card. You know, it can look very nice from the outside, but once you get in amongst it, here you can see there's lots of emotions flying around. So it's very much sort of, it's been an emotional head time recently, and yeah, just be aware sort of too in the next 4 weeks of emotional stuff. In other words, don't take things at face value. Look behind whatever's going on, and sort of understand that, yeah, emotionally it might seem like this, but in fact it's quite different. Okay, let's see what was happening in May, June in the time of Gemini. Yeah, work, definitely big influence there, looking at work stuff, sort of seeing how far you've come, but also sort of maybe doubting yourself in a way, not sort of looking at the bigger picture, if you like, not seeing what you've created, sort of getting in a bit of a stew and sort of conundrum in your head about, you know, have you done the right thing or what's going on, just sort of a bit of self-doubt there. But this card sort of says, yeah, but, you know, look at what you have done, look at the big picture, don't just hone in on one little point in your life that hasn't gone well. So nice card actually to sort of remind yourself to be always try and step back and look at the big picture rather than honing in on your sort of shortfall, if you like, especially around work, doubting your work stuff, and your head will do that to you. Okay, recent influences, we have the Three of Coins, so building on very strong foundations, working well with others, getting on with the job, looking at that big picture and moving forward, improving your lot actually, and especially work, but this is also very much a spiritual learning card. So if things in May, June were a bit difficult at work, or you felt like you'd lost your way, this is a card to reassure you, yeah, well, what did you learn there? Were you the teacher or were you the student? very important card actually to remind ourselves, yeah, well, we're constantly learning. So nice card actually, Sag. Just keep building on what you know, and knowing that even if we do make mistakes, with mistakes you learn. If you don't make mistakes, you don't really learn much, do you? In any aspect of your life. The lesson for the next 4 weeks is Ace of Wands. So yes, really getting your mojo back. Ace of Wands. Wands is fire, which is a Sagittarian. Sagittarians belong to fire, so like energy coming back in hard and fast, things moving forward, getting back into progressing rather than just ruminating in your head and worrying and all that stress, and then just really sort of moving forward out of that energy into like progressing and action and movement, things a lot more positive coming in. So that's sort of the reward for trundling through the time of Gemini. That was near future. Ace of Cups, so 2 aces, yeah, very much a renewed emotional energy coming in, maybe catching up with people from the past, coming back in, or finding something that really is dear to you and that you're emotionally attached to, working out. But once again, it's an uprush of that energy, like the ace. Aces are always sort of new beginnings, new energy, sort of reiterating that things are as they are, but you know, sort of connections are really important with the Ace of Cups. So don't be surprised if you have sort of really amazing moments or connections with people in the next 4 weeks, or even just with yourself, to get on with what you're doing, getting out of that head energy of Swords. What's happening that you're not realizing? And yeah, doubt coming in. Stop doubting yourself. Stop using your head or your brain to sort of try and solve problems. Just get on with it. Get on with it. Stop dwelling in your head or just leaving it there and ruminating over decisions. Make the decision, move on. You've got good things there, so if something emotional does come in, just make a decision. Don't sit on the fence. That's the fence sitter card actually, Sag. And you are very much action people, so it's like just make the decision and move on. Don't second guess how others see you. The World, so the end of a period and the end of a cycle. Very much, I'm thinking the last couple of months has been very much a learning curve in terms of yourself. So that's actually coming to an end. So what's next? Yeah, I feel like you've learnt some really important lessons about yourself in the last couple of months. But now that curve is finished, and now there's something new coming in for you. And that's other people seeing you like that as well. It's a big card. So it's quite interesting with your emotional life, your relationships, connections, energy. Just move forward. Let's see what you're feeling positive about for July or Cancer time. Yeah, your head energy once again. You know, fear. The fear factor always, you know, relating back to your head. It was fearful. What can happen? The worst, always fearing the worst. Things aren't as bad as they seem. All that energy that was maybe wasted in the last 4 weeks of the Gemini time of wondering what if, and oh my God, you know, this went wrong. It's all fear-based. It really has it's like not sleeping well, all that kind of energy went on in that time of Gemini, so May, June, and that's still hanging around with you. But look at all the energy you wasted worrying about something you didn't need to worry about. You just needed to confront it. There you go. Certainly resonates. Okay, let us see the final outcome, Sag. Ooh, bit of heartbreak coming up. Something's going on. 3 people, heartbreak, sadness, emotional time in Cancer as well. So yeah, just whatever might bubble to the surface, Sag, you know, just try and deal with it as it is. Feel how you feel. Don't fight it or avoid it. But yeah, there's definitely some kind of sadness creeping in at the end of this period. Now, because of that, I just want to put a clarifier on that. So whatever that is, but that's our life too, isn't it? There's always happy days and sad days, and we've all got our stuff. Let's see what's beneath that. 10 of coins, so it might be family, you know, relationship-wise, or inheritance, family background, remembering a sad event from family, lost member or something like that, which often happens in the time of water. Those emotions sort of become more exposed to the elements, and we do go back and sort of remember a very sad time. But I think in a way too, we have to do that. It's sort of grief resurfaces sometimes at unexpected moments. So just be aware of that and just try and deal with it as it comes up rather than avoid it, Sag. But overall, an interesting month. Let's see your card for the message. Attachment. Attachment to desires is the cause of all suffering. Attachment arises when we want something different from what we're experiencing right here, right now. This ever-increasing list of unfulfilled desires causes us to experience discontentment and disconnects us from living simply in the pure joy of the present moment. So that can have a lot to do with this end card here, the grief card. It's like, yeah, try to acknowledge it, but try not to attach it or make it, you know, a sort of theme in your life where it's almost a victim thing. We all have to go through grief and revisit it. So with that said, Sagittarius, have an interesting month, but just remember it is quite fraught emotionally, so go with that flow. Thanks so much for listening.